kind of where we're going with the proposal is that, just like magic, there are maybe, just like magic and spells, there are dangers to all the things, but to not understand them is, well, that's just non-magic.
Yep.
We gotta know what this is about. This is a huge component in the galaxy that we have other creatures that can utilize mana.
This is correct.
That aren't orchestrates. Like, how are we not studying this?
Yeah.
All right, Robin. So one of the things you need to do, because your character has adept training, is you're gonna have to go to the familiar dock and pick out a familiar for your own personal use.
Alright.
Do you know how to get to that dock? I think it's in character creation, maybe.
So we want with adult or less, or standard, or
Yeah, I think it's I'll put it right here. Actually, I'll put the new one.
I can make visages too.
I just stepped on that.
you just can't pick like the elder or the legendaries and the.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be approved, but yeah, you just pick out a few you might want.
Where did I see the familiars again?
I'm gonna put it right in the character creation thing.
Alright.
Here we are. All right, there it is.
Uploaded the familiars to the zip.
Sorry about the background noise.
And I pick just about whatever then.
No problemo. All right. Yeah. So whenever you're ready, you can submit your proposal to Congress. But it is recommended, with your Magian lore, that you actually argue before Congress if you don't want it to die during legislation.
Right. We don't want to just submit paperwork. We want to actually stand out there and be like, "Hey, this is some real action here."
Correct.
We should get that spirit trainer to come with us as a.
Did he really seem like he wanted to put his face out there?
He said if you have more references or a stronger proposal or evidence, basically, he'd be willing to put his name on it and probably appear before Congress.
Is this given that we showed him the memories of our interactions with familiars? Or we didn't do that, did we?
I don't think you did.
Well, we probably
I was
should do
trying
that,
to do
is
that, but
show
you
him
didn't let me.
I didn't really.
Somebody didn't let me.
It was me.
Yeah. Or you could.
Who were you trying
somebody-
to show it to?
The guy. I was gonna try to show him like that we wrangled shadowmancers and krakens and tornadoes and.
So if you show him stuff on your secret mission that could potentially compromise your secrecy.
Yeah, because he's not an elite guard with the.
That would be confidential.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we mentioned last time. Yep.
Okay, so pretty much what we discussed. Is there anything new that we wanted to add to the thing?
Do you think my creation of familiars with alchemy could be like part of could be kind of something they'd like, or is it
So
just
that entirely depends on what you're proposing. Basically, my job is to, as part of the Congress, is to oppose your litigation. I'm sorry, your proposal based on whatever you're proposing. So, insofar as you understand your own proposal, it may or may not be helpful.
yeah.
Well, I think I have found the one I would like, if it works.
Okay, go ahead and you want to. Do you know which ones are called or whatever? How many did you pick?
I could pick several.
You want to pick just a list in case your first one doesn't get approved. But yeah, which one did you pick?
The first one I thought of was Entombed Familiar.
The totem familiar?
The Entombed Familiar.
Entombed.
Familiar.
In the ghost section.
Yeah, that's cool. That'll work.
Yeah.
It's all yours. Let me go ahead and put it on the handouts.
Handouts.
Do magians really do a lot of alchemy kind of stuff, or
Yeah, definitely.
big alchemists?
Yeah, they're the only alchemist, actually.
Oh wow.
They discovered and invented it.
Yeah, what we really wanted to show was how, or what we want to try to show is why is it important to know about these things, other than, well, you need to know about your environment, but like why are they useful? How are they useful to stuff? And what we determined was that
They each have like their own special ability that can help you guide yourself through many different uses. Like you can detect spirit, cause saturation effects,
but
dig.
specific, the main thing about the familiars is that because they they channel mana, but because they channel specifically spiritual energy, it makes them immune to disruption. And that was the main thing, because if you could somehow utilize or integrate familiars into, say, Magitech systems or into areas that you want to protect from disruption, there would be something that will basically you have an amazing use for galaxy wide, and obviously the Magians would be at the forefront of its development and innovation.
Yep. Yeah. And then we can go into where bonded abilities come into check, because some of them you can attract other familiars. You can deal
Right, and then I'll talk about
You can deal actual spirit damage to others.
Yep.
Whenever, because
Yeah, the bonders
I don't think
are helpful
Magians.
without having.
I don't think Magians
Go ahead.
really do much spirit either. Spirit damage, or are they? Do they?
They do not.
No,
Not
they're more mental.
mental. So
Or are they
They
memory?
don't really have a lot of proficiency in any of the energies. If you had to pick one, though, it would be mental. But arbiters are
Okay.
way better at it.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it could be looked at as filling in or bulking up another area of our being, thus improving our
Strength amongst the other clans. Maybe.
just increasing our evolution. Like, obviously if we're great at mental energy, that's great, but why not be great at mental and spiritual energy?
Yep.
Just well, why?
Because even us as adepts, we proved absolutely useless until we figured out what to do.
And what are other specific uses of spiritual energy? There's also the advantages of being that I have so much training in this stuff. I guess I've been on FEP for a long time. Yeah, I guess there would be advantages in increasing your spiritual vitality by merging it with familiars you happen to be bonded with.
We got
So
it.
if you were doing something that required, you could then have Magians doing things that required a lot of spiritual energy, and because it's very stable, you could better accomplish those things because you wouldn't have to worry about instabilities.
Definitely, and we can mention where it'd be great study into the integrating it into Magitech.
Yeah.
Without without hurting them.
Probably way more reliable because it's spiritual energy. Less prone to.
They're basically animals, so to a sense, so they might not. I don't know. I was trying to go with that. Never mind.
That's correct. Until it's not.
Yep.
Well, I mean, they're creatures that like generate their own mana on their own, so it's not like you have to gather mana and then infuse something with it. You could
Yeah.
have the creature.
What I was basically saying is that they don't technically have a soul, so it wouldn't be that that the moral compass wouldn't be that bad either, if you think about it.
Well, I mean, Magians would still know what exploitation is.
Yeah.
If you put a creature in a pen just to harness energy, they'll be like, yeah, that's evil. Unless the creature really enjoyed it and somehow they knew that and that the creature didn't want to leave. It's like, yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, so the Magians are capable of creating consciousness artificially. So if they need a conscious creature to do that, they're going to strip the consciousness of all of its other functions, such that its only purpose is basically to do what it needs. So it won't have these peripheral consciousness features like feeling pain or
oh
something
crap,
like
I'm
that.
gonna die.
Yeah, it won't have any dread or anything like that. So you'd have to provide an argument why this creature is a better substitute for artificially created consciousness that can be refined to very great detail.
So I guess with alchemy, like Sadi can create familiars.
Yeah.
So what's the advantage to creating a familiar to do a task over creating any other consciousness?
Well, specifically, a familiar can do things, but I'm talking about just for the consciousness component of it.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately,
But it's a good point. Like if Magians can create consciousnesses to do things like, well, go do this, without components that make them sentient, really.
Yeah.
Then yeah, why would you replace that with a familiar, an actual
Yeah, that's
familiar?
basically what the opposition is going to argue. By the way, is this proposal being made with the Elite Guard seal, or is it just between you guys personally?
it'll be.
Well,
I wanted to do the elite.
I
Guard
said that
scene.
it was,
Okay.
or at least we were going to say we were doing it as Elite Guard members. I don't know if we're like, hey, if we need to ask Ark, hey, can we do this before we do it?
No, you can unilaterally propose something for the Elite Guard. It would be within your interest to, because again, the whole point of the proposal and all this backward stuff is to get people as references who are going to sign on for it, who would
Right.
put their
So,
approval
yeah,
and
we
reputation
should
on the
check
line.
yeah, we should check with Ark and a bunch of other people.
Right.
So there's I guess there's a lot of stuff we still need to do.
If you want it to potentially succeed, so what is everybody's Magian lore?
Let me check.
Chronos 3.
3? Okay, so
-3 as well.
because you have free Magian lore, you know that putting your Elite Guard seal is going to give it special recommendation within the Senate as well as an expedited process. However, the currency of Magi is repute and prestige and distinguishment. So, arguing against the Elite Guard successfully before the Senate would be seen by many as an opportunity to improve their standing greatly. It's like being a lawyer who famously argued in a renowned case.
Like a civil rights case to
Right.
overturn something like, yeah.
So yeah, people, you're basically, if you do that, even though you're expediting the process and you're getting special recognition, you're also inviting very hungry individuals who are willing to look for the easiest win against anybody who has the most prestige. However, their likeliness in doing this is going to also depend on which elite guards are recommending it.
Okay, so I guess
Right, because they don't have to argue against them. So if they were arguing, they would probably need to know a lot about familiars, or know more about whoever they're arguing with, because then otherwise it'd be like, wait a minute, I don't know where you got that idea. That's not true.
wasn't the adept that we talked to an elite guard member, but he just wasn't, or some type of military?
Yeah,
Zenrage is an elite guards member. That's correct.
Okay.
yeah, Zenrage is an adept elite guard. And he's a familiar guy too. And he was the spiritual.
Yeah.
He was a spiritual guru.
Mr. Lornan is also a adept in the elite guard.
Oh yeah, adepts are the master race.
No.
Adept master race. I'm gonna take over the Magians.
That's not true.
I mean, they got 2 planets.
Yeah, well, Magi's got like a gajillion.
We'll take one at a time. They'll be all right.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, so does Lorenan, is he like with us, like we're going with, like he's been with us the whole time, or we're gonna meet him?
No, I'll be introducing him in the campaign unless he wants to confront me directly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to pick out a familiar at the moment, right?
Yeah, I put the Entombed Familiar in the handouts if you wanted to pick that one. That has the approval.
It says here in my inventory that I already have a familiar, actually.
It has what?
In my inventory, it says I have a Gale familiar.
Oh, a what familiar?
A Gale familiar.
In your inventory. Oh, you have a Gale familiar already. Cool. You can have both. A Gale familiar is a lesser, so you can grab another one.
Oh, this must have been a copy of. Well, is this a copy of my character?
I don't know.
I think it is.
You could
Well, you're a fool.
a way you can meet me is I can come make you a familiar or something on the way. That'd be kind of
Yeah, that's true. Close
That would be
this.
nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
cool.
I'm just gonna check your training real quick, Lauren.
2040, 2015.
Yeah. Okay. Lauren, are you looking at your the training page right now?
Thank you.
This shit. Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So I just switched over to the core training. Okay, so when this copied over, if you look in minor training tab 1,
Okay, yeah, we need to
these
transfer
3
that.
trainings, or 4, 1, 2, 3, these 3 trainings, these all need to go to the core training dot, and you add it into here.
Yeah, you just copy paste them over.
And then everything else looks fine except for none of the names of these carried over.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can deal with that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. You can copy paste those over to port. Those 3, the 3 from minor training tab 1. where it says core depth spiritualization and core magian. Those can get copied over to core training.
Du har koll på vad jag sa nu, för att om det blir fel så överser det. Rad 1.
Yeah, whatever they said.
So I need to do spiritualization and core magian too.
Yeah, you just need to copy and paste those into the core training tab.
Yeah, the core depth spiritualization and that magian core.
Oh, I missed a lot.
All right, so yeah. Does anybody have any more questions about the proposal?
Actually, how prevalent were familiars used in the Celestial Wars? Would that be an arcane? Would that be a lore check?
Yeah. What is your adept lore?
5.
Okay, so
Nah.
yeah, they would have been used almost exclusively by adepts, but their effects were mixed. Most of them were used for support roles, not really much for combat.
Okay. I would like to also use that as like an argument in favor of our proposal as well.
Okie dokie. Does everybody have like? Should I make a collective handout for you guys to write out all of your points within your proposal here?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Okay. Familiar
We can edit those.
proposal. Yeah, you can edit it. All players, edited by all players. And yeah, go ahead and write everything you need to in it.
Okay, and then if we go to, so you can delete those 3 from the minor training that you copied over. So those 3 can need to be there. And then the names of all your minor training appear to have, yeah, they didn't come through. That's okay, because I'm pretty sure I have them all right here. So if you want to go to your minor training bubble and page 2, I can give you the names of all these trainings.
Familiar proposal.
Am I supposed to go to minor training?
Okay. So yeah, rank 4 increases combo. Okay, so that first one is called Combo Master.
Alright, I've written it down.
And the origin is Warcraft.
Alright, I've written it down.
Okay, and melee is correct, and we go down to the next one. Oh, wait, no. Here where it says Origin, there's a drop down underneath Combo Master.
Origin.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to be.
That's Warcraft, yeah. Okay, and then the name of the second training is Ombo Temperance.
What?
I'll copy paste it in there. Okay, and then also Warcraft Origin.
Now you've changed it to Warcraft.
Is anybody writing anything in the familiar proposal?
I put 2 things to see if it worked. Save changes.
Oh, I see it now. Cool. Go ahead and put your point in, Morningstar. And you should also make a list, somebody, of who's approving it, who's putting their name on it, and like what seal you're using.
Wait. Yeah, okay, that's,
What about number 3 now?
I have it in there. It's Grappler. You see it?
I've written Grappler. Is it in the Discord?
No, I'm copy pasting the names in here
In where?
on your character. Cause all these names were blank. They just said name, and I'm filling them in with the names of these actual trainings.
They're not
Yeah,
appearing
make-
immediately, so I didn't notice.
Make sure to click if they're racial trainings or not as well.
Thank you. It's hungrier than I thought.
Oh shit! Hold on here.
For food?
So I was hungrier than I thought, yeah.
Increases subdue result by 50%. Oh Nikes. That must be on page 3. Crap. Well, we're gonna stop right there. Okay, that's Animus Specialist. Okay. Yeah, okay. Deciphered hidden abilities. Greater Animus.
I'll wait for
Increases sub check by 1.
Alta to write any.
And it was Hunter.
Anything else. I'll wait for Alta to write anything else.
No idea if these are racial bonuses, because I have no idea what the sub races are.
I think they're zealous. They're in their inventory.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on, titles. I just want to make sure this is good enough for right now. Okay, so those names are all in there.
Not zealous, are you zealous?
Yeah.
I'm zealous of you.
Well, quit.
Oh god, all these names are... Okay, there's only 4. Okay. Where
Does
is it?
anybody have an interest in going to another source for proposal?
I wanted to go to our leader guy and let him know that we're gonna make this proposal.
You make your way back to the northern part of the palace and reach the citadel of the elite once again. Much of the press is still hovering about the area in the immediate vicinity, and several of the press members motion for an audience with you as you move by, most likely to get your word on what transpired inside of the citadel with the incident regarding the visitation of the Celestial.
Have they downloaded our memories yet?
Who?
the people or the magi?
Who in Magi?
Did they get recover our memories? Like the
Yeah,
whoever
who? Who are you asking about?
whoever's supposed to recover our memories, like through the campaign.
Oh,
Have they done
well,
that yet?
the Senate has.
The
Are you
Senate?
asking if the press has? Are you asking if?
No, just
Uh,
this. Yeah, I was just wondering who has, like, if the Senate did or.
the Senate has looked into your memories already.
Okay.
Yeah, you were at your. You debriefed the Senate on the results of your findings, and that you were put under scrutiny.
Yes, I remember. What was our leader guy's name?
Ark.
Ark. Okay.
Okay, I think we're good here, Lauren.
The press is currently flagging you down, guardsman.
No comment right now. It's just you'll get debriefed by the elite guard or is it the Magic Guard press secretary.
Captain Sadi, do you mean to say that you have no words about the incident to say yourself?
No comment at this time.
Okie dokie. You move back into the Citadel. Most of the Citadel behaves much like normal mage quarters, but for the fact that it holds only the quarters of the Elite Guard. Just to reiterate, the Elite Guard is a section of the Royal Guard. They are basically serving as special forces. Amongst them are powerful mages and other elite military individuals from, or who can sometimes serve as ambassadors from other civilizations. Within the Citadel is, of course, the combat range where Ark is normally found. There are many briefing rooms as well as private quarters, and below it, the Citadel is directly connected to the Royal Forge at the bottom. And then, of course, there's the captain's quarters. As you contact the Ancestor is, for everybody, is the global planetary consciousness. Basically, Magi is an ecumenopolis. It is a city-sized, is a planet-sized city. More or less, all of the landmass is part of the integrated system of the civilization, and all of the buildings are connected to an artificial consciousness known as Ancestor. This performs a lot of magic for everyday things for all the people living here. Anyway, under the Citadel, the Ancestor has specific privileges, and it will relay locations to you of all the Elite Guard members that are on base. It shows that Ark is currently in the combat range.
Alta, are you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. I put a little bit of the proposal down, but see if we could add some like bullet points and then we can detail it. I don't know if it got updated yet, but we'll head to we'll head to Ark then, the combat area.
You step over to the lift, teleporting you to the combat range. You appear in the, what's it called, the stratosphere, the upper stratosphere of Magi, far beyond the limits of normal airspace, over a wide, many 100 kilometers wide section of space that has been partitioned for the use of the Elite Guard, where you can demonstrate your power levels in full. You sense several energy signatures that are familiar to you amongst the residents within the combat range, off in the distance. You can make your movement toward them at your own discretion. Ark among the energy signatures. Currently exhibiting the power of about 5.
I'm gonna show up. Where's the shared doc for the?
It's called Familiar Proposals.
Yeah,
Should be
yeah.
in the handout.
Okay.
Go ahead and get rid of this thing. And this thing. Alright, so you're in the combat range currently. What's the deal?
Okay. And Arc is training power 5 right now. I guess.
Mark is training at a power of 5 currently. That's correct.
Oh, wow. I can't even get there at full power. Well, except with memory.
Impossible. Okay.
It's possible. It's everything else is 2s.
What do your energies look like?
And energies. Let's see here. Character. My mental.
Oh yeah, you have a lot of spirit energy.
Yeah.
But I guess spirit energy has pretty low power growth. That's what it is.
Yep.
Otherwise, those look like pretty healthy numbers. Well, you can always go full power if you need.
Yeah. At full power, if I go with my memory, it'll be like 6. But
Yeah.
Yeah, and the spirit will still stay at 4, and the physical or the body will go at 5 or 6, and the mental is at 3. Jeez. All right. And he's training. What should we do? I guess I'll ping him. Kind of say, hail guardsman, or hail captain,
Oh.
if I could have a moment of your time.
Hail guardsman. Captain Sadi. You rarely visit. You may make your way here. He lowers his power and remains stationary.
Alright, I'll fly over to him.
Womp womp womp.
Yeah, sorry I don't report to you as often as I should, but
How can I help you, Captain?
yeah, me and Ulta here, and also Shina wanted to bring a proposal forward to the Senate, or
Did you just throw me under the bus? What the fuck?
You already said you're in on it.
yeah, you said you were in on it.
dude.
Yeah,
You
but I was the first name you dropped. What the
You
fuck?
gonna
No, I
put
said
me out?
Ulta. I said Ulta.
Oh, well, he doesn't want to stop doing that. He doesn't want to stop doing it.
I guess you missed the Ulta part, but I did say Ulta first.
Alright, just give me shit, brother.
But no, it's all Shina's idea, and he wanted
Yeah, it
to.
was all his idea. I could have sworn. Yeah.
He wanted to make this familiar. No, I'm kidding. We wanted to make this familiar, kind of.
I see your
Training.
time spent in the last mission has had an impact. He motions for another guards member to approach. And Lornan flies over to him. You are in the middle of sparring with Ark. Lornan here is, as you know, one of the only other members of the elite guards that is an adept. Perhaps he'll have something to say on the matter.
Hail Guardsman. Lornan.
You there, Robin? Robin, did you bail? Well,
R.I.P. Robin.
yeah.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's got you're calling the wrong name. It's
I
Lauren.
said Lauren, I swear.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I can't play. It's simply too painful for me to sit up.
Oh yeah, okay. It came back.
Yeah.
All right. I'll catch you later then, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyways, I will be leaving.
No worries, brother. Take
No
care, man.
worries.
Yeah, get better, man.
All right. Lornan mysteriously evaporates before your eyes, and Ark is like, "Damn, I hate it when that happens."
Aw. I'll
Anyway.
give Ark a hug.
Ark says, "No one gets me." God.
So we are here, and what's a good name for the? Also, what's a good name for the like a familiar training ground? Or
The petting zoo. There we go.
petting
That's a
zoo?
good name.
No.
Yeah. Familiar study hall? I don't know.
What do you call it? The
Vivarium?
what if it was called? I don't know. The Magian Adept Familiar. I don't know. I gotta come up with a really cool acronym. So it's like "Eat My Balls" or something.
Yeah, name it calm.
I know that there is a really cool vivarium, a little area usually enclosed for keeping and raising animals. There we go.
That's cool.
A Bavarium?
Vivarium, yeah. Vivarium. I don't know how. Vivarium.
If you're a freaking commie,
Yep. I wonder how it's. Yeah, Vivarium. So. Okay, we'll start. Let me start over. Yes, our time on a dep was filled with lots of crazy experiences that we weren't prepared for at the time, and I believe that if we teach Magi how to handle the spirit energy, we can better harness the powers of spirit energy through familiars.
do you mean to make your inexperience official then, Guardsman? You were assigned to that mission partially because you were adepts. One among you, yourself, was a shaded clan member.
Yes, that was I.
Wait, did he just say we failed?
He's asking if you want to put your inexperience as part of the official proposal.
Saying like, I've only been in lead guard for 2 years, and look what I did.
Well, you basically what you told him was you found a lot of things that were surprising to you while on the field.
Whoa.
We
I wouldn't
adapted.
say it's surprising.
We adapted quickly, but if it was
That's because we're
yes, if it was if it was a Magian out there, he probably wouldn't have made it. In all honesty, sir.
Quite the bold statement. You're not going to get a lot of favoritism from the Dark Magians making that argument.
Well, they do have our memories, and I did have to learn on the spot how to what's it called, modify my magic to even do damage to any of these familiars, to where it had
Yes.
spiritual damage.
You performed well. Your technical marvel will be an asset.
And I think it'll be an even bigger asset if we hold the familiars here, study them, and learn how to use them and integrate them into Magitech to make up for the shortcomings of spiritual energy training.
I see some merit in this proposal. Between you and I think you're lucky that the Senate did not bring your decision to actuate your dimensional magic capabilities into question.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a pretty tough spot, and I don't regret any of the decisions I made on Adept.
My instinct tells me that the Dark Magians were most highly impressed with your decision, as they don't particularly care for the scrutiny or the litigation involved with the demonstration of some of Magi's most potent assets, he says, looking at you.
What was he basically trying to say there? Like,
so basically, he's pointing out that under normal circumstances, the deployment of your dimensional magic, which, to reiterate, is the most powerful magic in the entire game, would have been normally something questioned. It's basically like deploying a nuclear weapon. So it's a decision that normally would come under a lot of scrutiny for the Senate, but no one seemed to question it, so they seem to find your deployment of it acceptably within the bounds.
Because it gives the Magians, and especially the Dark Magians, a hard-on.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. The Dark Magians love it when you do that shit.
Only if they knew there's familiars that can use dimensional magic.
So, yeah, he's also pointing out that your argument that familiars will be used to avoid the deployment of powerful magic could work against your favor if you're trying to earn the votes of Dark Magians. Because they want you to use more powerful magic. They think magic is the solution to everything.
Huh.
and then so I guess yes, and I believe that the Dark Magians would be interested in seeing the powers of the magic of these familiars, because they do things that not many people orchestrates could do, or even attempt to train to do. They're mighty powerful, and I think they'll be impressed with their abilities as well.
Have you considered asking the Mage General? Referring to Sigonius, one of the basically the leader at the moment, given the absence of the king.
Sigonius.
We have not talked to him yet, Commander.
He nods. I believe he'll share my opinion, but you can leverage access of your memory if you wish. The Dark Magians will, I think, provide ample response or receptiveness if you're willing to give a lecture on the instruction of the deployment of your dimensional techniques. They're always looking for more cases of justified use of dimensional and elder magics. The fact that an elite guardsman used one on a mission, he nods, is quite persuasive.
Against the Void God himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to do some behind-the-scenes negotiation to earn their vote tacitly, you can. You see what I'm getting at? Quid pro quo.
Yeah, yeah. I see what's happening there.
Okay.
All right. Yes, and with your backing, sir, I think we can convince even Zen Rage to back up, and he's also a spirit animus, one of the best here, next to Alta.
I have some familiars of my own, as well as some contacts with the adepts. I believe it's an untapped reservoir for techniques, but I'm a channeler, Captain. So, my reputation as somewhat of a spellblade might seem a bit too obvious in that regard. I think Sigonius's commitment to this proposal will earn more weight than my own. If he's willing to put his name on it, I'll put mine.
Understood.
I think it's hard for most orchestrates to understand what it's like on the field, but in a toe-to-toe confrontation, without Magian technology to back us up, Magians don't last long against powerful channelers of Saya or Adept origin. Is this your experience, soldier?
Yes. If it weren't for me and Shin Na and some of Alta's little smart tricks, I don't think we would have lasted very long ourselves. The Void God is greedy.
So Shinna has told me.
I would say Dark Magians are greedier.
They'll take that as a compliment, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, Art's willing to put his signature on it if Sai does.
okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time, sir, and I'll leave you back to it.
One more thing, Captain.
Yes.
I think you need to stay in this combat range with me for a bit longer. I think you could use
Oh,
some more training.
GG's, bro.
Oh
The
no.
captain should not far so behind his combat specialist. He gestures over to Shinnok. I expect you to report in timely for some dedicated combat training. Understood.
Yes, sir.
He's referring to Sadi in particular as captain.
Yes, sir.
Very well, you're dismissed.
All right. So am I fighting Ark?
No.
Oh.
He wants you to come back before you go to the next mission, basically.
Okay. That excited. All right. Let me see. Let me write.
All right. So what's the next heading?
Let's see here.
That way?
That guy, the guy that he mentioned,
You want to go to Sai?
Sai, yeah.
All right. You move over to the Tower of the Mage General. This is connected to the Royal Halls, opposite of the King's Chambers. The Mage General's spire is shared by those of the personally selected entourage of mages that are privy to knowledge kept within only the higher royalty, Congress, and so forth. It is not uncommon for the Mage General to select those within the elite guard or from outside the royal guard entirely as recruits to serve the general's proposal, serve the Mage General's personal employ. Both of which are currently off base, however. The Mage General is in the middle of basically dressing the investigation and the footage and handling the public affairs in response to the king's death and in absence of the king for all the royal matters. Anyway, you can request an audience as an Elite Guards member only. If you try to do this on a personal affair, you will be rejected.
Even though I'm the cool guy? Alright.
Yeah. You have to have your sunglasses on to be cool enough.
Oh.
Or I'd have to see your thumbs. That would be the only other way.
Oh
Or
no.
what if I just dimensional magic half of this building?
Well, he'll put it back.
Oh, okay.
Ancestor will put it back together before you finish the spell.
No.
Would get good.
Probably could.
It'll probably like teleport you into like a black hole or something before you even got the spell off.
Okay. I just wanted to be cool, guys. So yeah, I'll request a audience as an elite guard.
All right, is anybody coming with you?
I'll go with you.
Yeah, man. Where are we going?
You're going to the Mage General's tower.
Yeah, fuck yeah, the Mage General's Tower. That's like the Surgeon General of magic,
Yeah.
except mages and not surgery at all.
Except now, I think since his name is Sai, I just think of that Korean guy.
Oh yeah. His name is spelled. I don't know how his name is spelled. This guy's size spelled as PSI.
Oh, PSI.
You got like Young Sang Cho?
I put
Yes.
SAI.
Well, that's wrong.
Well,
You're banned.
damn it.
So you guys are not talking about Young Sang Cho?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna spell it PSY
Well, don't do it.
just to make you mad.
Okay, fine. Anyway, you move over to the Mage General's tower. Naturally, the automated press is there, and you're flagged immediately. If you'd like to make a note of your to declare your reason for attending an audience.
I look at the camera and I ask him, you know Helicopter Dick? You know what it does?
Database is turning up empty on Helicopter Dick Guardsmen. Could you enlighten the populace?
Yeah, he picked him up into the air and throws him like 3-4 kilometers up and then disappears his clothes. And
There are
that's
no
it.
press members here. This is an automated bot of the ancestor that is animated in a spherical form and is currently asking you with audio that mimics your own voice. If you'd like to make a comment for the press as to the nature of the visit to the Mage General's tower.
Well, in that case, Ancestor, the only cool person on this planet, you know what Helicopter Dick is?
Database is to inform the guardsman is pulling up a negative. Perhaps you would
Oh,
like
wait.
to make your own.
You guys can't see the camera. Sorry.
It would have been way better if the, of course, here's an image.
Shinai just drops his pants
Like,
and
look
starts.
at this helicopter dick.
Perhaps you'd like to make your own rendition within the archives of this helicopter dig phenomenon.
Hello,
Well, let me start off. It impresses a chick, and you gyrate your hips like this, and I show.
no!
Oh.
Well, now all the populace knows that you're a kinky fucker. Unfortunately, the only people interested in you are men, so you're gonna have to get it.
Oh shit! Sounds like Joshua's king shaming.
No.
Oh, hey, they like forbidden alchemy, don't they?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Depends who's doing it.
Ooh, that's the forbidden alchemy.
Well,
All alchemy is forbidden.
oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, but dimensionals is the forbidden alchemy.
Yeah, that's true. That's the good stuff.
because
It's
I
like, oh, you use alchemy, that's cool, but then you use dimensional alchemy. It's like, dude, what? You can't just be doing that.
Yeah, man, chill.
Oh,
Will you fucking chill, alright?
I'm sorry.
Alright, anyway, you make your way into the Mage Tower. There are many, what do you call it? Blah, 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 suitors in the entourage for the Royal Senate in the building at the moment, handling the affairs of the audiences for the king. There are some ambassadors. You notice one from Adept, and I'm sorry, one from the Arbanan Empire, and two from Dark Magi. As you read the Ancestor, you're informed that the Mage General is currently in an audience with one of the lead Senate members. This is Counselor Soren. Yeah, you're permitted to enter. They're postponing their conversation for you when you arrive.
Oh crap.
as we walk in, I think to myself, what percentage of the Senate does Dark Magi hold?
There are 8 Senate leaders. 2 belonging to Dark Magi, 2 belonging to Central Magi, 2 belonging to Ozma, and 2 belonging to Galaron.
What are the last 2?
That should have been 8.
No, what are those last 2?
Oh, I'm sorry. Kosis Kosis and Galaron reference 2 sectors of the kingdom outside of the immediate solar system of the one you're on.
And do they all have equal vote?
Yes.
And obviously Dark Magi has
2.
With Central, but what about the other 2? Do they have any particular feelings about the other 3?
Do they have negative feelings?
Yeah, or positive, like, hey, I forgot the names of those other 2 already.
So you're talking about the political map for each of them.
Yeah, what is the relationship?
So obviously Dark Magi is opposed to basically most of the others. They absolutely detest Kosis. They're not really enemies, but they tend to disagree with Central, and they're neutral against Igalaron.
Like right.
Igalaron is mostly a neutral party at all times, pretty much across the board. Nobody has a real problem with them. Kosis is generally for Central, and is of course sworn enemies with Dark Magi. And Central Magi is in favor of Kosis a little bit, and is obviously sort of suspicious of Dark Magi, and neutral for Galaron.
Okay.
Alright.
So we're looking for 5 votes.
Yep.
And 2 of them, I just got to impress with.
2 we need to have on board, and the third sector needs to be 50-50 minimum.
So, but we were here to just talk to Sai, but we ended up meeting up with everybody. Pretty much.
No, he's currently in a one-on-one conversation with one of the head Senate members. That's Counselor Soren. He speaks for Central.
Yes, there's in front of us, and we just walked in, and then I just asked that question in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. You walk into the audience room with the Mage General, whom you recognize immediately. This, of course, gives you a view of the entire palace from here. It's a remarkable chamber. Obviously, the Ancestor is accessible. And there's a large table. Both Soren and Ark are floating on opposite ends of it. Side towards you. Guardsman, he says, nodding. As does the Senator.
Hail, orchestrates or senate or I don't know.
Mate, you can call him General.
General.
Yeah.
Good evening, General.
Let's see here. He floats over to you and shakes your hand, Captain. Congratulations on a successful mission.
Thank you. It was surely rough, but I'm glad we were able to gather the information we did.
He nods. Your credit to Magi and to Adept.
Shucks. Let's see here.
He floats over back to his side of the table before allowing you to come to it with emotion. What brings you to the General this evening?
Yes. We come. I know we don't come very often, but we did wanted to float a proposal amongst to you guys and see if we what you think. We wanted to do a familiar vivarium on the Magi or on the Adept mission. We basically ran into familiars that channeled mana on their own and ran at extreme energies, rating up to 7s and 9s. And it seemed pretty hard to beat them without going to extreme measures.
Yes, that much was certainly evident in the memories, says Counselor Soren. Adept seems to hold in its clutches some untapped potential for power. We've certainly underestimated them. Is it in your expert opinion, Guardsman, that this is a formation of the Void God's influence, or is it something rather innate to Adept?
This is innate to Adept, General. I would say it'd be more of a blessing from the primordial god.
It's certain.
There are many with those suspicions, he says, scratching his chin and looking away.
However,
the presence of the Void God certainly didn't help, but it could be anything that could power these to make these familiars stronger, and that's why I think it would be a great benefit to have some sort of elite guard, what's it called, study and training where we can utilize their spiritual energy, because that's what they have, and that's what we lack, into Magitech technology to improve combat and also everyday activities. Because if you do see as well in their memories, we did come across an Adept colony where they were using the familiars like as they were being farmed for their resources. So I think that would vastly improve Magi and any technologies moving forward.
It will, of course, come into suspicion that your advocacy of this vivarium will be in light of your current expedition, of your recent expedition into Adept. The natural implication being, Guardsman, that Adept poses a threat to national security of some form.
I would say the opposite. The Adepts have always been a peaceful,
aggressive,
colonial type civilization. Instead, that their successfulness in the Celestial Wars was in part due to the tactfulness of their use of familiars.
It seems
in fact, we the Adept people are known as pacifists.
Well, Councilman, says the general, he looking over to Soren, I do believe they'll be able to successfully argue that across the Senate.
It seems a few bad apples have spoiled the bunch and have doomed a lot of them.
I'm afraid that's the
Innocents.
case, since Councilor Soren in agreement. The Shadow Adepts, especially in light of the King's assassination, he says looking at the three of you, will be posed as quite aggressive, even if it's belies their true nature.
Then I think this would also be a great motivation and to rekindle and promote relations between the brother and sister world and ostracize the depths of those who seek power from arcane reasons.
It could be
Galaron will see that as inherently aggressive, says the councilman. Any form of prejudice within as justification for legislation in the Galaron's hemisphere will be looked down upon. The Galaron being basically a joint place where all the races live more or less with equal authority under Magi's power.
So out of character at this point, does the Magian Senate and royalty know of what's happening on the outside of the threat that's proposed to the finite realm?
Does the Senate know about it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I fucked up before. When I was talking about the members of the Senate, I think there's 5 groups. Did I mention a Galaron to begin with?
I think so, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Did I mention Ozma?
No.
Yes.
Okay, so Ozma, I'm confusing Ozma with a Galaron.
You mentioned a Galaron and then something that started with a C.
Yeah, Kosis is one, Ozma's another, and the Galaron is the third. I don't know why I forgot about Ozma.
So there's 5 of them.
Yeah, there's 5.
Okay. And Psi is.
We need 6.
But we're looking for Psi specifically so we can get ARC's approval.
Anyway, yeah. So what was the last thing you said?
You were talking about Ogarion or
Yeah, Galaron will
Galaron.
look at any legislation that inherently uses any form of prejudice for its motivation as hostile. So it'll likely vote against the proposal if it's citing the adepts or reasons for ostracizing groups of the adepts.
This is all about bringing the depths closer to the Magians. Bringing them, starting collaboration, and healing what happened during the Celestial Wars.
and using the familiars as a key to basically not a key but a bridge to bridge the gap between Magians and Adepts because they know how to wrangle them and we can learn how to harness their spiritual energy for the greater good basically.
Guardsman, that will be seen inherently, says the Mage General Psi, as something that will be weaponized for the purposes of national security. Even if you don't mean that to be the narrative you push, that will be, what do you call it, hijacked. Are you prepared to argue for this before the Senate?
Yes, I am prepared to put yes I am prepared to argue that before the Senate because I believe that it will be under our supervised care. Something that could be only used for good. For good. At first, it'll be used through the elite guard, but then we have plans to bring it to the public once we get a handle of it.
Okay, so the proposal is just to keep it within the reaches of the elite guard.
Initially,
Okay.
but then once kind of like all programs that have potentially dangerous aspects are controlled by whatever entity and then released to the public as
Right.
blah blah blah. Because like we said before, everybody's not allowed to practice alchemy. Like, not everybody is allowed to just get trained, and I guess it's possible that you can just spontaneously do alchemy, but it's probably pretty rare.
No, it's like insanely impossible. There's no way.
Well, I mean, like it happened at some point. Like somebody did it.
Only like in experimental laboratory settings, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
Anyway, he then says, "It seems like the best metric, what's the word? One article of the proposal should include an advisory body of those concerned for just about what you speak of. What are you thinking currently in the matter?"
We are thinking to
Who do you want to make as the advisory body?
oh, okay. It'll be me and Ulta as the advisory. Right? Or
Captain, says the senator. Correct me if I fail to understand, but this seems like a disputed sense of interest. The elite guard cannot be counted on this affair for their own self-inspection.
That makes sense, Senator. It is a conflict of interest. I recommend that we bring in a person of each clan on the depth, as well as those who take special interest in spiritual training among the Magians. Even though that's Alta and Chronos here will be the teachers, they shouldn't hold the actual. It should be the actual adept people, Magians, that hold the place of governance and regulation over this.
Well, Galeron will be pleased to hear that, as you can probably guess, says the counselor, looking over to Sai, who smirks. But as you know, Dark Magi will have none of it, and I scarcely doubt that you can get Kosis to sign on to it either.
well, I did want to speak to Sai.
Yeah, so what did you want Sai to do? You understand we're talking about two separate things, right? We're talking about getting... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Oh, yeah, do y'all need to go? Because y'all have a thing today, right?
I just asked him when.
No? I thought you guys wanted to meet up today.
Well, Well, I'm asking Baker when he wants to come by.
Okay, yeah.
Just
Oh, it's only 4 over here, but I get or 5:30 over here, but
Yeah.
it's gotta be what 3:30 over there for you.
3:30.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm chill. Whatever.
All right.
What was I fucking writing?
So the natural thing to do for the advisory, if you want to secure votes, is to make those that are skeptical about the program the advisory board. Even though you do risk them terminating the program by doing that.
By doing what?
If you make them the advisory board, you might secure a vote, but you risk them terminating the program.
Making adept clans members the
No, making the skeptics of the proposal the advisory board.
Like
Yeah, that's never. I don't think it's ever a good idea because if they're skeptics, all they're looking for is things to make it go wrong, so they can be like, "See, I fucking told you so. It sucks."
Yeah. It's a high risk, high reward. You'll get a vote more secured more easily, but you potentially risk the failure of the program.
Ooh.
man, I just wanted to show off my dimensional magic. Let's see.
You did see 2 Dark Magian senators in the building. So if you want to do the quid pro quo thing, you need to negotiate with them. Especially since that they're here in the Mage General's tower. So that's a good... Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Good cover instead of going to them directly, which the press is going to know. Because they're already here.
So, like to show them the quid pro quo. What did he say again? The
Who?
arc. With the
He's
never mind.
Ark said basically that what did he say? He said basically, yeah, the Dark Magians might be persuaded to be more lenient if you're willing to give something in exchange personally. What Ark mentioned was lectures for the demonstration of your dimensional technique that you used on the field.
Okay.
I basically just blew him up.
Okay, so and we're talking about advisory boards right now. So damn it.
Anybody want to jump in?
I'm sorry, bro. Can you repeat what you said? I was in the bathroom.
So Sai recommended making some sort of an oversight. So he's asking, who would you consider for oversight in advisory, basically, in order to make to make a better deal of the proposal. People are more likely to agree to it if there's some sort of oversight.
Definitely
Arc.
a representative of the Gilding Clan and the Zealous Clan,
But he's
as
talking
well
about
as the Dark Magian.
I didn't catch what you said, Shana.
I recommend having representatives of the most powerful adept clans
Okay.
Zealous
So,
and
yeah. Right, so that was considered. So what their response was, if you do that, you're likely going to get votes from Megaleron, but Dark Magi is definitely going to be against it, and Kosis might also as well.
that I recommend as well. Part of that, having representatives of Kosis and Dark Magi, as
Yeah.
Dark Magi represents the national security. What we can benefit from this, as the Adepts will establish a better relationship with Magi as a whole.
And as you could see that in the field, a lot of the times I had to go to extreme measures to win against these familiars. So um, uh,
It's correct.
anybody who is interested, I could teach.
No.
No, no. Fuck, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
you
what
know,
the fuck to say.
you gotta do that to the Dark Magi. You're talking to the Mage General
Okay,
and
I'm
the
talking
Council
to Mage
right now.
General. Oh, God.
Yeah, you can't just offer your tutelage for dimensional techniques as part of the program.
Okay.
That would be.
I got mixed signals then. I didn't understand.
Yeah, so the quid
My
pro
bad.
quo thing is not happening right now. That's just something that ARC is recommending you do behind the scenes.
Yeah.
This is on the scene. This is what they're talking about. You're going to discuss this before the Senate, and you're going to the Mage General for advice on how to persuade the Senate. The lead Senate member is also here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. I fucked up. I got. Okay.
anybody else want to jump in?
I got nothing else. I suck with this political shit.
You want those levels or not?
I do. However, I see the threat that's coming, and my character's primary goal is to eliminate those that upset the balance and take away from the orchestrate's ability to fight Deaden. So this political shit sucks.
Well, the orchestra at this time are not under the impression that the finite realm is going to collapse. That doesn't become a political reality until Gen 2.
So, like, tomorrow, okay.
It's about 50, maybe 100 cycles from now, basically. Juan, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you don't have a choice for advisory board or oversight, whatever, then the best default would be just Central Magi.
Central Magi. Would the skeptics be like Arc? No, that wouldn't be Arc. It would be.
Oh, the skeptics for Central Magi? They're
Uh,
gonna meet the least opposition normally, but Dark Magi is always gonna be a pain in the ass.
but like whenever he said the skeptics, or whenever you said the skeptics, to make the skeptics advisory.
Yeah, that's a high risk, high reward move you can make. You can make the skeptics part of the oversight in exchange for their votes, but you risk them terminating the program by citing some sort of intrinsic risk within the program.
Okay.
Like like the study of fusion, because there's no intrinsic risk in that, or flight, aircraft, or any of that stuff. But yeah, that's what politicians do. They argue nonsensical things just to waste time.
Well,
You don't say that.
Why not? Don't you know that flat Earth is real, man?
no, that's not true.
They think
Flat
that
Earth
God
is real,
gave
and you
me
can fucking stop hurricanes with thermonuclear weapons.
Birds aren't real.
And if we
Wait, you're telling me that won't make it
argue for long
worse?
enough, something might actually happen. Oh wait, it can't because we make the laws.
Oh, fuck. Okie dokie.
I dare you to fucking detonate a nuke inside of a hurricane.
Me dare me, Jack. You
Yeah.
can't.
Bust out
I'll
your
make it so
hurricane
much
familiar.
You're just gonna acquire some weapons grade uranium, plutonium from like your backyard.
I mean, it'll take you like 50 years to refine it, but yeah.
All right.
Yellow cake.
You would die. Never find anything.
All right. So the moment you pick some sort of oversight, Sai will likely put his signature on it.
I thought we were doing the elite guard as initial oversight. I mean, obviously, if the Senate and stuff wants to look in on it and be like, hey, I think you should be doing that. Okay, well, how do you do this then? Well, I don't know. Great, that's why you're not making decisions in this one.
Basically, Councilor Sorens pointed out that making the elite guard is basically the oversight is going to pose a conflict of interest
Between Central and Dark Magi?
Oh no, just between the existence of the program being led by and overseen by the elite guard.
What was the name of the what was the name of the neutral political party?
That's going to be Ozma, actually.
Ozma.
Yeah.
So what if the program is operated and conducted by the elite guard and overseen by Ozma?
I suppose if you can convince them to commit to it, although I'm not sure that Ozma has terrible interests in familiar bodies. I see no reason for a Galaran or Kosis' intervention. Central will, of course, support you. Dark Magi, well, as you might predict.
Dark Magi would want to oversee it, but I think it's the fairest way to just choose a body that's neutral. Especially if it's a body that doesn't really care about may not even really want the familiar thing as far as like, yeah, we're really gung-ho about it, but yeah, we'll oversee it. Like impartial.
Would Dark Magi be interested in
I love
seeing
it.
it?
Our Dark Magi will be put at ease if they're part of the oversight.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with Ozma having oversight, having, what was it, master or overall oversight, and then if they want of the other regions can have a member of a board that may have input and make an advisory board. There's an advisory board of which all the regions have a representative, and Ozma oversees it as like an adjudicating body.
So if it's split evenly, though, that's basically going to count for nothing politically.
Oh.
So I think maybe shared with Ozma and Dark Magi, or
Well, I guess. Are any of the other regions? We should probably do that. Is figure out if any of the other regions are even interested. Obviously, Central would be, Dark Magi would be. But if
Egalaron is going to be inherently for this proposal because it has equal representatives as adepts, as Magians there.
yeah,
Kosis is less comfortable, and Dark Magi is super uncomfortable.
so
And
that's
Ozma's neutral.
that's 2. That's 4. They're
Central
uncomfortable with having
obviously,
equal oversight.
Sorry, what?
No, they're uncomfortable with the proposal.
Because there's equal oversight.
No.
Yeah, you won't get any leverage any which direction if you give equal oversight. It's just neutral.
Right. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of looking at it like there's kind of 2 oversights going on here. There's Ozma and the Elite Guard. So you've kind of got Ozma and Central. Obviously, Dark Magi is not going to like that, and
You can put a clause in there that's going to allow for the other factions to insert their own experts into the program, but you currently have it as elite guards run it.
oh yeah, okay.
How about we have Elite Guards run it with Ozma and
How about this program?
Dark Magi, and have the clause in there for everybody to have their experts. Just so that way, if Dark Magi has oversight over it, then they'll be happy, and then Ozma will just be happy either way. Maybe. Since they're neutral.
Yeah, so if everybody has room to bring their own experts in, what you're probably going to see is a sharp drop in quality compared to elite guard members. Or the selected of the elite guards.
Oh.
Well, that's why I put that word in there. Let's see.
And where in the familiar proposal?
But yeah, I still think it's important to have Ozma as the adjudicator.
Okay.
So we're right here. Program will be initially operated and conducted by the selected and approved members of each region. Oh, and then I somehow deleted that. Overseen by Ozma. I should write adjudicated by Ozma. God damn it.
Okay, so it's overseen by Ozma, and there's experts from everybody, or what was the question here?
The program will be initially operated. I was trying to get my brain right. Program will be initially operated and conducted by selected and approved members of each region, adjudicated by Ozma.
Okay, so there's going to be experts from everybody running it?
Potentially, but and by potentially, and I don't know if I need to actually write this in, because if we write in everything, this is literally like a straight up business proposal. I could work on this thing for a year.
No.
Doing nothing but this all day long for 8 hours a day and still not have a solid proposal.
Wait, I want to ask a question about Central Magi.
Yeah.
Wait, if there's members that apply to be a specialist because it's like, hey, Dark Magi wants to get in there and know what's going on, but they don't have any experts and they just put people in there, and it's like, well, you don't know anything about what's going on here. Sorry. But no, you're not. You don't have the credentials. So if Dark Magi only puts up people that don't have the knowledge, then Dark Magi doesn't get a specialist. Now they can put forth a request to have somebody learn, but that needs to be established. That person is not advising. That person is not making decisions. That person is there to learn and observe, like that kind of stuff. But I would imagine
if Dark Magi isn't allowed to put in experts, or it's seen that there's more experts from other groups, the oversight committee is going to have to report that.
well, yeah, I mean that's no problem. I mean, but it's just a matter of you can't send idiots to go do this, important thing just because you want somebody in there. Just state that, hey, we don't have any experts, but hey, I'd like to put in 4 observers to go in there and observe and learn. Yeah, no problem.
No, that's fine. I'm just pointing out to you, they're very likely going to argue against it if there's no guarantee they're going to have any real power.
Well, I guess I would argue the point with the Dark Magians and say, you mean to tell me that you want to have somebody that knows nothing or very little about what's going on make decisions about it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're prepared to argue that before the Senate, then yeah, you can go ahead and keep that.
Yeah, absolutely, because that just sounds ludicrous. You want me to you want to just start using alchemy and ghosting magic without knowing how to use it, and then start going, hey, you know what? I think we should do more of this. Well, how do you know? Have you ever done that before? No. Oh, okay. Why don't you just teach this class? But yeah, I think the proposal has no problem that that if there's 5 experts from every other region and they want to have 10 observers, 20 observers, 30 freaking people learning and training, that's fine. Just you can't consider yourself an expert unless you are. And I don't think I've written that exactly, but I think it's obvious with what I wrote. Selected and approved members.
You need to put who it's being selected and approved by.
Well, yeah, but therein itself is the problem. How do you establish who's an expert? If somebody says I'm an expert and then proves it, and Dark Magi goes, well, I don't think that's expert. I think this guy's expert. So it's kind of like, first of all, like
there's a certain credulity attached to whomever you might raise as experts potentially.
Yeah, I'm not looking at this like, oh, I'm going to be prejudiced against some group because their guy might not have as much knowledge, or hey, you know what, I've got 15 trainings and you've only got 13, you're not a master trainer, so sorry. No, it's like you have no training at all. You're not. If you have at least familiar training, you're not an expert, but
I would assume a person who's an expert would be whoever has a legendary dragon familiar, like the Nova Dragon or a Abyssal Dragon.
No one's gonna have those. Literally nobody.
Or a Kraken.
Yeah, I mean, well, see, this is another bag of worms, because now we have to write up a whole nother section of, okay, well, what constitutes credibility of...
No, you don't have to do that.
No.
That's going to be established in-game with the lore. You just have to pick somebody.
See,
oh, well...
Well, that's why I'm trying to make it easier and see if we could get those 2 bodies that we mentioned, and because I think that'll, if Dark Magi has, who will be mad if Dark Magi has
Kosis,
Kosis,
and that's maybe Central.
I thought Kosis liked Dark Magi.
Negative.
So.
Oh.
They're sworn enemies.
Oh.
And Central might be a little mad.
Kosis sounds like they're just assholes to everyone.
No.
And at best, they're like, well, just leave me alone. Like, they don't seem to like anyone.
They are centralists and they are highly religious.
What if Central and Dark Magi had a piece of the pie?
Pretty much everybody trusts Central except Dark Magi.
Yeah. But we're already the elite. Well, no, it's not the elite guard. The elite guard is simply Central would be selecting people likely from the elite guard to go do the thing. So that's that. But if Ozma's adjudicating, which basically means if there's a dispute, then they adjudicate. But who's generally running it on a regular basis? Yeah, I think everybody trusts Central Magi. Dark Magi would love to be doing it. And at the same time, I think honestly that Central would rather have Dark Magi running it. And this is why. Because Central probably doesn't think this is a great idea. And they would look at this as an opportunity to make Dark Magians look foolish. Because it's going to fail. And if they're overseeing it, they get all the blame. It doesn't matter who proposed it. It doesn't matter who's involved. You're overseeing it. You're in charge. You fucked it up.
Can it be like that where Central Magi has a lesser advisory role, but Dark Magi has a stronger one? Or
Yeah. I mean, it's all about how we propose it. We can propose that. I was just thinking about the dirtiness of politics and how that could be a nefarious way to get both of those parties who would likely disagree in situations to go, you know what? Yeah, because the Dark Manager's like, newfound power, newfound knowledge, yes. Get to oversee it, yes. Of course we're going to succeed, which means we're going to get all kinds of clout. We're going to prove the Central's wrong. And we get to laugh in their faces, and then the other side is they're going to fail. They don't know what they're doing. They're too wild. They're going to go crazy.
Dark Magi would definitely be on board if they're put in joint oversight with Central, because it basically legitimizes them as on par with Central.
Oh, that's a good point. So, yeah, okay, so what if we have Dark Magi and Central doing the oversight, with Ozma being the outside adjudicator if there's a dispute?
Oh, wait, what? What about Ozma?
I was saying that Dark Magi and Central Magi have oversight
Yeah.
equally, and if
Yeah.
there's a dispute between those two, like Central's no, it's got to be this, and Dark Magi's no, it's got to be this, then Ozma comes in as the outside.
Okay. Basically, that's tantamount to just putting Ozma in charge. If the buck stops with Ozma, people are basically just going to look at it as Ozma being in charge.
Well, yeah, but then we just end up with a two-party shit fucking government where one says yes, one says no, and then nothing happens. Because it like if they get to a situation where they're like, well, let's do this. I don't want to do that. Okay, guess we're not doing that, or we are doing that. It's like, which one are they doing it, or are they not doing it? How do they figure out what they're going to do? If there's enough.
The way oversight is going to work is, if the oversight deems there's a problem, they're going to bring it before the Senate when the continuation of the program comes into question.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not giving us commands. They're just overseeing what we're doing, and
Okay. The Senate will be involved, and they'll have to vote. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll just change this. Okay. Program will initially be operated, conducted, and overseen. God damn it. The beaver did.
It was me.
right, they're like our managers, and we're their workhorses, basically. or something like that.
Well, the way you're phrasing it, the elite guard might not be in charge of it at all if they're going to be in charge of operating it.
Yeah, that's already been taken off.
Yeah.
So we're gonna operate.
But the elite guard part comes from Central saying, you know what? Like, are we going to choose scholars? Are we going to choose random people? Or are we going to choose, like, elite guard that are already, like, masters in familiar stuff? Like,
There you go.
So the elite guard's going to be involved. When you shall operate, conducted, and overseen by Central and Dark Magi jointly. And equally. And delete all that. And then as the program is proved and more knowledge has been gleaned, the program will be opened up to scholars and the general public within reason. As guided by the oversight committee.
Okie dokie. That certainly sounds sound, says Sai, to be redundant. Without the insertion of Central as part of the joint oversight ensures, I think, votes from Egaleron and Central, who might otherwise be opposed to this, unilateral oversight of just Dark Magi. Naturally, the Dark Magi should be complicit, given its equal standing in the matter with Central. You certainly have my approval, says Sai.
That's pretty good. Because he's a big guy, right? He's a big time guy.
Yeah. The biggest Magi, actually.
So he's the senator. He's the Central senator.
Oh, this is the Mage General.
Oh, the Mage General. What
Yeah.
exactly is the Mage General?
It's just basically like the, I guess you'd call him just the head general, like the marshal or whatever. He's the military advisor, top military advisor and leader.
Okay, so in our context, he's the general of the army.
Yeah, like the chief of the staff of armed forces or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So in wartime, this is the guy that gets all the power, gets all the decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the general of the army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the Mage General. His tower is right in front of the royal halls or whatever.
Okay.
So we got good approval. Nice.
Well, we've got his stamp of approval, right? We still got to put it before the Senate or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to argue before the Senate yourself, you can definitely do that. Or you could just put it through the litigation process, or we call it the congressional process, pardon me.
Are we intended to do this before we move on?
Yeah.
Or is it possible to do this after we got back?
No, this is going to go on, because you're basically going to undergo a dedicated training as soon as you're done making this, and then during the course of that training, you're allowed to change any additional stuff you need before you continue the next part of the campaign.
Okay. Well, I wrote down we have to wrap on this whatever thing.
Hasn't updated for me yet.
Really?
Or-
Oh, save.
Yeah, just open and close
okay,
it.
there we go. It popped up now.
Because we have the Mage General's signature now, Ark will put his signature on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and maybe other people will, because it's like, dude. Oh, if he's on board, fuck it. What are you guys doing? Lollipops in the ass for everyone? Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
his
the Mage
name?
General doing it.
Zenrage, I think his name was.
Yeah.
He said he was gonna put his name on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. We could probably write there at the very bottom of it. Who's on board thing? Who's on first? who's on board, and that is who's the person we just talked to? The main big. The Mage General.
Saya. The science guy.
Yeah, that's
Mage
his name.
General.
Or Sigonius.
Art. Hold on. Art. Zen Rage. What was the one you just said, Josh?
The Mage General's name is Psy or Sigonius.
Is that CY?
It's a PSI or PSY, whatever you want to put it.
Gonius. I'm gonna spell it like that, like gaseous, but gonius.
Okay.
Yes.
Gaseous.
Sigonius. Sigonius. How do I get the Go. I don't know. English sucks. It's too limiting. Anyway. So we have Mage General, Arc, and Zen Rage. That's all we got so far.
And then yourselves.
I mean, realistically, that's quite powerful factors right there.
So
I mean,
yeah. So the Mage General's approval has different impact based on what it is. If it's like a humanitarian thing, the Mage General is gonna look poorly for not approving it, something like that. So it's just assumed to be more of a what you call it, emotion. It's not really like impactful. But in this particular thing, there's special consideration, but it does put some sort of context underlying it as military oriented. If you're going out of your way to put the Mage General's signature on it.
Yep. So it's different from humanitarian. It's like more necessity, I guess.
Is it NAW? Yeah, it is NAW.
No.
Shine. Shinya.
There's 6 of us.
No.
nah.
Where are you gonna host it? In the academies?
Yeah.
We got I thought we had to argue this on the Senate floor.
Where it's gonna be hosted?
I don't know. I thought it was gonna be on the Senate floor.
No, I mean, where's the program gonna be hosted?
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, we don't need space because we can just be like right there and then create a dimension to do the training, right? We don't actually need
no. Well,
right?
the vivarium is going to be conducted where the program's at, or no?
It's gonna be on site. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know where would be a good spot. I mean, obviously, Dark Magi is gonna want it on in Dark Magi, and
Well,
then
to keep things simple, it definitely has to be on Central Magi somewhere. So
So
that would have to be one part of the palace or another. So east, west, south, or north. The north being where the royal halls are, the citadel of the elite are, House of Congress, the mausoleum, temple grounds where the goddess is, and the House of Congress. The west part of the palace or planet would be the academies. The east part would be the archives, including the conservatorium, libraries, lecture floors, museums, that kind of stuff.
put it west.
South would be foundries, fleet bases, and courthouses.
So what kind of stuff is the academies? That's where you get trained to do stuff?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like where it should be.
Okay, so if that's what you're trying to host it, you probably want to get the approval of one of the deans or something like that,
Dean.
which can be
Yeah,
secured.
we should probably go after the Dean of Mean because
Yeah.
I heard that's the hardest one.
Robot,
You
how?
get the Dean of Mean, it's over. Joshua, you left this hot and spicy beef jerky behind.
I know.
Well,
Why didn't you road trip snack it? Is it bad?
No, I mean I've had it for like over a year, I think, but I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, it's still good in the bag, but was it gross?
No, I just couldn't have it because it had more sugar than I thought it would for keto.
It has 5 whole sugars.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so we need to go talk to the Dean of Mean.
Okie dokie. I think we can conclude it there because I know you guys are gonna have whatever today. But then tomorrow you can get secure the dean pretty easily, and then we'll have the litigation before the Senate, undergo the training, and then we can start the beginning of the second part of the campaign.
Oh shit!
Awesome possum.
we're meeting
Catch
again
you
tomorrow.
later. Sorry, what?
I said we're meeting again tomorrow.
Oh
Or?
no, I mean next week.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I mean, yeah, I can do it.
I'm not for whatever.
If you want to do tomorrow, we can do tomorrow. But yeah, everybody has to be on the same page.
I'll have to check my schedule with Esther, but I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah. Try to put it in the scheduling, everyone, before like the end of the day, if you can.
Tomorrow's Saturday, so I'm completely free.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, you two then, if you want to, you two, Ernie and Chris, if you want to put it in the
Are you
scheduling.
free to play tomorrow morning, Star, or no? Because if you're not,
in
then
the morning,
that answers the question right there.
tomorrow afternoon I'll be available. I won't be able to do like any like combat stuff because I won't have my docs. But if it's over Discord talking and stuff, I'm free.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So the moment we get into a battle, we'll have to stop then.
Okay,
Alright,
so
gentlemen.
by afternoon.
Yes, I could probably do it a little for like around 12, or no, not 12. About 1 or 2 my time.
Okay. Yeah, just put it in scheduling if you're good, and everybody make sure to check scheduling before the end of the
But
day.
I'll double check. Yeah.
What time frame were you thinking, Morningstar?
Yeah, just anytime after like 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be free.
Awesome possum.
Gotcha. I scratched my eye after eating a jerky.
What?
Stupid scratched my eye after eating this jerky, and now it's all watering and shit.
You're all gonna die.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got spicy in my eyeball.
My parents think I'm crazy for having habanero in my talk, though.
Yeah, what a joke.
No.
Joke.
I'm
I
gonna
can't wait
roll.
to eat that. I'm growing right now.
It's just
Aw,
Tex
shit.
Mex.
All right,
I'm
good
growing
talking to y'all.
oats and some
Alright.
happy happens.
Take
Catch you
care.
later, fellas.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
And that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Actually, I'll be right back. Yeah, well, I'll end the stream and then I'll be back since there's nobody watching. Appreciate you guys.